What's going on, guys? This is JT here. I am going to do a brief description of all the heroes in my altar, just a quick explanation of what talents I think are best on each hero and which crest set I think is best on each hero in certain situations as well. So to start off, I have a 5 of 5 Revitalize talent Warlock that is 10 of 10. I keep 5 of 5 War Guide crest set on him, and the reason why I put Revitalize on my Warlock was because he procs at the very start of the battle, and that's huge in a bunch of different insane dungeons. So if you see an insane dungeon with a bunch of magic towers, it's nice to have that Warlock in there, because as soon as you throw him in battle, bam, he procs and then throws up an immunity on 3 of your other heroes, which grants them the ability to not get hit by one of the magic towers in insane dungeons, which is a huge help. So it's nice to get his proc off right away once the battle starts, because the next time he can proc is his cooldown 7 seconds. So even if you have a Cupid or whatever else in your hero lineup, he's not going to proc before another 7 seconds. So that's the reason why I keep Revitalize on him. And as the crest set, the reason why I use War God is because the Warlock's mainly used for damage. So anything like Bulwark or War God, anything to bring up that damage is going to be huge. And if you don't have Revitalize as a main talent on him, you could even throw a Revitalize crest set on him if that's your best crest set for him. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next hero. We have Dread Drake. So I have 6 of 8 Bulwark on my Dread Drake, and the reason why I have Bulwark on him is because the Dread Drake is born with a ton of hit points. So I figured that Bulwark would be a lot better than War God, because not only am I bringing up the Dread Drake's damage to 60% more once I get Bulwark to 8 of 8, but I'm also bringing up his health by that much as well. So I think that's going to be a huge talent for the Dread Drake, because not only does he have a ton of health, but he also hardly ever takes damage because of his main skill. So that's going to be a big talent for him. And as for crest, I don't know if Berserk's the best crest for him, but it's definitely not the worst. It helps in arena a lot because you get the first proc off his the bombs that he throws, his cannon blast, I guess is what I should call it. Procs first and stuns all the heroes on the other side of the altar. So if I didn't go with Berserk on the Dread Drake as a crest set, I'd probably either put, honestly, you would be okay with putting Tenacity or Stone Skin on him, or a War God if you're trying to do more damage. So War God or a Bulwark as his crest set would definitely both work, because those are just adding more damage to his ability, and he is an absolute beast in every game mode there. I don't think there's any game modes that I don't use Dread Drake in. I even use him in dungeons. So let's go to the next hero. We have Skull Knight. This is an interesting hero here. You really can't go wrong with the Skull Knight. You can pretty much put any talent on him and he's a beast. But obviously there are some that are better than others. So the best talent for him, in my opinion, probably is Life Drain. And the reason why is because it is just good in every single game mode. Either Life Drain or 5 of 5 Revitalize for sure. And the reason why I say 5 of 5 Revitalize is because the Skull Knight procs right away at the start of battle as well. So as soon as you throw him down in any game mode, arena, lost battlefield, whatever, he procs right away, and his skill is then in effect. So it increases his attack and also limits the damage he takes by 3,000 per hit, which means pretty much nothing can kill him. That's why I believe that Life Drain is such an effective talent as well. So I mean, pretty much you can either have Life Drain, Deadly Strike, or Revitalize as his main talent and you're going to be okay, or you can have any of those as a crest set and you're going to be okay as well. So he's pretty versatile with that. Deadly Strike's mainly only used for arena, but it can also be good in other game modes as well, especially in like Guild Wars or Lost Battlefield. If you one-shot one of their main heroes, I mean, that's always a huge huge help. Let's see here. Next I have Aries. He is rolling with 5 of 5 Revitalize as well. And one of the reasons why I went with Revitalize on my Aries is because it's nice to go into a battle, especially to Guild Wars or let's say a dungeon battle or whatever, and you need specific heroes silenced before your other heroes enter combat with those heroes. That way they can't proc. So you throw your 5 of 5 Revitalize Aries down, he procs right away, then bam, silences the heroes he's about to face, and therefore they can't proc on your army, which is definitely a huge help. But if you can't get 5 of 5 Revitalize on an Aries, he is also good with Scatter as a main talent, And then you could just throw a revitalized crest set on him, or even a revived crest set, depending on what you're doing with the Aries at that point. As you guys know, I have a backup 5 of 8 sprint Aries, and I just haven't double evolved him, and I'm not going to. And the reason why is because I don't plan on getting his talent up. It's not useful enough for me, the extra 30% or whatever run walks movement speed increase that gives Aries just for that talent upgrade. I have a lot of other things I'd rather focus on than that, so that's why I'm not, or I decided not to double evolve that the sprint Aries. Let's see, what do we have next? Minotaur, nice. One of my favorite heroes in the game. Just because he destroys everything and can one-shot pretty much anybody's base. The for sure best talent on Minotaur would be 5 of 5 War God. And the reason why is just because you can boost it right up to 8 of 8 to give him a huge damage impact. The only reason why I haven't put War God on my Minotaur yet is because you're not able to switch crest that easy in this game yet. So it's just a pain in the neck to constantly have to take my 5 of 5 revitalized crest set off from my Skull Knight, which I use in Arena, then throw it on my Minotaur just to raid bases. It's not quite worth it. So I'm just going to leave the 5 of 5 revitalized on my Minotaur until they change the game to where it's a lot easier to switch around your crest, because it's way too hard to do that. So I believe that you either need to have Revitalize on your Minotaur as a main talent, or War God on your Minotaur as a main talent. One of those two talents, and then whichever one you don't have as your main talent, go ahead and throw it on your crest. The reason why I have Scythe Shield crest set on my Minotaur is because I use him in Lava 2, and if you put Scythe Shield crest set on him, he avoids one of the stun towers procs, which is huge. That way he goes ahead and stuns 55 random ground units, which is basically all the stun towers inside of Lava 2. So he just one-shots all the buildings there, which is super cheap. So that's why I have Scythe Shield on him. Let's see, what do we got next here? We got Pumpkin Duke. I have 5 of 5 Revitalize on my main Pumpkin Duke, and I like 5 of 5 Revitalize on my main Duke, and the reason why is because in pretty much every game mode, he makes all your heroes just attack, kill, run, do everything super fast. Just speeds up the whole entire game. So why not speed up the whole entire game faster than normal with having 5 of 5 Revitalize on them? A lot of people like to have Berserk on them, which is fine. I have a backup Berserk PD as well, but that's mainly used for like bosses and game modes with that such. The 5 of 5 Revitalize can be used in anything, including dungeons. If you have a 5 of 5 Revitalize PD, I would highly suggest to get that bad boy up to 9 of 10, 10 of 10 as quick as you can, because it'll make you go through dungeons so much faster as if you do not have a 5 of 5 Revitalized PD. Trust me on that. I've done dungeons on a bunch of different accounts to help people out. And anytime they have a 5 of 5 Revitalized Pumpkin Duke, there's always a way around certain situations, rather than if you don't have it, then it's not as easy. So definitely suggest going with 5 of 5 Revitalized for Pumpkin Duke. And a crest set, either Revive or Life Drain, but I'd pretty much just go with Revive on a Pumpkin Duke. It always comes in the clutch for HBM as well. Next we have Vlad Dracula, who is my most recent double evolved hero. I have him with 8 of 8 War God. As you guys know in my last couple of videos, he is an absolute beast. Looks like a tornado when raiding bases, especially whenever you have the sprint crest on him. As a main talent, I would go with War God just because it gives him the most damage and he gains life so fast whenever he procs. But you could also go with Bulwark as well. It just gives him a little bit more survivability. And as for a crest, I really like Revive on Vlad, because a lot of times you'll see the Vlad Dracula just dying, and then as soon as he revives, he just comes back to life and sends out a proc, and no matter what the level the revive is, it doesn't really matter, because as soon as he procs, it fills his life back up and then just wipes out everything. So it's always nice to have revive on him. But Life Drain as a crest set works as well. And if you want to just get the most damage out of him, throw a Bulwark as his main talent and then a War God crest on him, and your Vlad will be doing crazy amounts of damage. That's always nice to have a Vlad that's absolutely beast mode. Our next hero is Moltanica. I currently have 5 of 8 Life Drain on Moltanica, and the reason why I have Life Drain on him was because whenever I used to use Moltanica in HBM passing, I think, whenever I first got him, I was on HBM-I or HBM-J. He was really useful with life drain on him because nothing could kill him with life drain on him. Now it's not the same anymore. Life drain's really not even that good for Moltanica. If I were you, I would go for a scatter, either a 5/5 scatter if you can possibly put a scatter on him, or even maybe a bulwark. As for a crest set, I would either throw on a scatter crest set, a revitalized crest set, or depending on what you're doing, even possibly a revive crest set. It's always nice to have revive on heroes if you're doing HBM. As for Siren, Siren's not really useful in too many game modes, honestly. The most useful game mode I find Siren in is the Lost Demon boss in Lost Realm. Or the Harpy demon boss. Sorry about that, not the Lost demon boss. What am I saying? I went with level 5 slowdown on my Siren, mainly because I only use Siren for the Lost Realm boss. And whenever I attack the Lost Realm boss, I'm giving that Lost Realm boss, I'm hitting him with level 5 slowdown, I'm hitting him with 5 of 8 scatter, and the Siren makes your whole group of heroes deal 23% more damage, which is pretty insane. Makes the damage rack up pretty quick. So that's why I chose Siren for the Harpy demon boss. So next hero I have is the Harpy Queen. I currently have 5 of 8 War God on Harpy Queen, which I think is the best talent for Harpy Queen to have because she's mainly used in arena and to dish out the most damage. So might as well go with either Bulwark or Harpy Queen Bulwark or Harpy Queen. Either Bulwark or War God for Harpy Queen, because that's the best main talent. And as for a crest, maybe either a Scatter, a Berserk, or a Bulwark or a War God, depending on what talent you have on the Harpy Queen to start. I used to use her in Arena, but I don't really use her in any game modes anymore. So let's see, another PD. I already explained PD. We got Treantaur next. I have 5 of 5 Revitalize on my Treantaur, and the reason why I have Revitalize on him is because he is another hero that procs right at the start of battle. So as soon as he enters the battlefield, bam, Treantaur procs off, and then he allows 4 allies to take 40% less damage for 5 seconds, and then he also temporarily revives allies with 50% HP. That's why Treantaur is so good in Lava 2, because so many heroes are dying nonstop, and he just revives all the heroes. So the more Treantaurs you can get in Lava 2, the better, because all your heroes come back to life and start owning stuff again. As for a crest, I would either put like a revitalized crest set on him, or maybe even a Berserk or a Stone Skin, if that's all you got. Let's see, we have Ghoulem as the next hero. I currently have 5 of 8 Bulwark on my Ghoulem. Bulwark's definitely one of the best talents for Ghoulem. However, I think Life Drain is a really good talent as well, because Bulwark and War God actually do not affect the Ghoulem's heal, so it's only affected by his base attack. The Ghoulem does not only heal heroes, but he also reduces their damage taken by 50%, which is absolutely insane. As for a crest for Ghoulem, it's kind of the same way with most heroes. If you have Life Drain on them, then you probably want to put Bulwark or War God on him, or even Stone Skin. Honestly, you could work for a Ghoulem. Or if you have Revitalize as a main talent, you probably want to put Bulwark or War God on him as a crest set. Our next hero is Death Knight. I currently have 5 of 5 Enlighten on Death Knight, and the reason why I have that on him obviously is for leveling him up. But as soon as I am done leveling him up to 200, I'm going to switch that 5 of 5 Enlighten and go ahead and throw the extra 5 of 8 Life Drain that I have on him. He's a good hero for dungeons and pretty much dungeons and Lost Battlefield mainly, because he throws up the effect to where it gives heroes the immunity to 1 debuff as well. So it's nice to have him. Plus he comes with level 5 revive, which is nice because he just revives right away. That's why the Life Drain is good on the Death Knight, because he's born with revive. Let's see, so next I have Druid. I currently have 6 of 8 Berserk on my Druid, and I think Berserk is by far the best talent to have on a Druid, because there's no limit to how many times he can proc. He can just proc and reproc and reproc and reproc over and over and over again and just keep healing your heroes up. So Berserk definitely comes in handy. A good crest to put on him would either be Revive, or you could even put on Stone Skin or Life Drain for that matter. And depending on what type of situation you're in, if you're fighting the level 4 guild boss, you could even throw Scatter on him. So next hero we have Candy Cane. I have 5 of 5 Revitalize on Candy Cane, And really, Candy Cane does not have much use for anybody, especially if you're a newcomer in the game. It's not really a hero you want to roll. Candy Cane's only good specifically in Arena, and she's only good in Arena if she has 5 of 5 Revitalize. Because if you do have 5 of 5 Revitalize on her, she does proc right at the start of the fight, so she throws her proc right at the heroes, reducing their energy by 46, which is pretty beast mode in Arena. So, I don't know, I put Psyshield crest set on her, and I think that's the best crest set because it makes her avoid one of their heroes' procs. That way she for sure at least gets her proc off in case like a Warlock or a Phantom King hits her first. It avoids that attack, and then she still gets her proc off. You know, now that I think about it, Candy Cane helps out in Lost Battlefield as well, because if she procs on like an Aries or something when there's only 5 heroes in the lineup, and she stops an Aries from proccing, that can definitely change the whole outcome of the battle. So she's helpful in Lost Battlefield as well. So basically Arena and Lost Battlefield. I don't really see her useful in anywhere else, or any other game modes rather. So next we have Valentina. I love Valentina because she changes the game up completely. She kind of takes the Aries out of Arena in a way, but then at the same time she doesn't, because if she procs before Aries does, she's actually useless in the sense of stopping the Aries proc. As of right now, I have 4 of 8 sprint on her. I'm definitely willing to change that to 5 of 8 sprint. That's my goal. And the reason why I want sprint on her is only for Arena. I don't use Valentina for anything else. Actually, I take that back. Sometimes I actually use Valentina to take over a hero altar in Lost Realm. If somebody has a setup to where it makes it like a easy mode, if you use Valentina, then I'll throw her in that. But other than that, I don't use her much. And the reason why I throw 4 of 5 Revitalized crest set on her is because in Arena I want her to get to the other side of the crystal, but I don't want her to proc right away because I want the other team's Aries to have a chance to get to their side of the crystal and let the Aries proc first on my heroes, and then right after the Aries proc have my Valentina proc, and then bam, clear off that proc and fill all the heroes up with energy. That's the main goal. My guess is since they came out with Valentina, they might be adding some more silence to the game. I'm not sure. They added it a little bit with Artifact, but it seems like they might maybe they'll add some more since they have a hero that just only removes silence, unless this is just a only counter Aries hero. So next up we have Santa Boom. I have 6 of 8 life drain on Santa Boom, which I think is a huge mistake. I really wish I didn't have 6 of 8 life drain on him. The reason why I do though is because whenever I got Santa Boom like a year and a half ago, life drain was the best talent to have for him, because when he procced on the lower HBMs back then, all the deflects from all the heroes that he procced on would actually almost kill Santa Boom every time in HBM. So the best way to counter that was put life drain on him. That way he constantly gained life back as he was proccing. So if I were to go back and put a new talent on Santa Boom, I'd either put War God or Bulwark on him as a main talent. And then as a crest, I would probably put the opposite of either War God or Bulwark, just to have him do the most damage possible. I think that's the most important thing for Santa Boom to do, is to just dish out the damage. So also, you'll find Revitalize really helpful in Santa Boom as well. If you use Revitalize, I mean, he can be useful in Arena with Revitalize. He can be useful in Lost Battlefield. He can be useful pretty much everywhere with Revitalize. So it's not really the worst talent, I guess, but I would recommend using a Revitalized crest set more so than his main talent, just because a War God, like I said, War God or Bulwark for damage is a little bit better. Santa's definitely one of the strongest AoE heroes in the game though, for sure. So next hero we have Spirit Mage. I currently have 5 of 8 Bulwark on Spirit Mage, which I think is a great talent. Either Bulwark or War God are both right there in the same category of being the best talents for Spirit Mage. And then if you don't get either one of those, you could throw Berserk on Spirit Mage, because Berserk works well as well, because Spirit Mage doesn't have a cooldown for his proc, which is pretty beast. Whenever I use Spirit Mage, I normally use him in dungeons, and what I find to be the best crest set on him, depending on the dungeon, if it's a spread out dungeon, I like to throw 5 or any sprint crest on him. And if it's not a spread out dungeon, I either like to throw Bulwark or War God crest set on him, depending on what his main talent is what I would suggest. Let's see, as for Cupid, I have 5 of 5 Revitalize on Cupid. which I think is the absolute best talent, and I think if anybody rolls a 5 of 5 Revitalize, Cupid is the first hero you should probably put it on. And the reason why I think that is because whenever you use Cupid in other game modes, she gives everybody else energy, so she fills up their energy bar by 65%. Well, if you have her 10 of 10, depending on what you have her as, she fills up their energy bar according to that amount. The great thing about having a 5 of 5 Revitalized Cupid is you can throw down all your heroes, and let's say you throw down, I don't know, 4 heroes in a dungeon, and you wait until the Pumpkin Duke procs, and as soon as you see your Pumpkin Duke proc, then you throw down your Cupid last if she has 5 of 5 Revitalize, and then bam, she procs and refills up your Pumpkin Duke's energy, and then makes your Pumpkin Duke proc again immediately, and then makes all your heroes super fast, which is a huge advantage in dungeons. And that's the best way to just steamroll through them and get through all of them the fastest way, really. I would say the best crest sets for Cupid are either Life Drain, Psy Shield crest set, or even Revive in certain situations can be really good on Cupid as well. Next is the new hero Phantom King. I currently have 5 of 8 Bulwark on him, which I think is the best talent for raiding dungeons and or actually for anything except for arena. My plan is to probably keep this Phantom King and not change it to Berserk, because I have a feeling that I'll end up rolling a lot more Phantom Kings down the road. That's why I'm not really pushing it to roll for him anymore. I'm just going to keep this one as is, keep the Bulwark on him, and then eventually I'm sure I'll roll another Phantom King, and then maybe I'll throw a Berserk on that one. As for crest sets for Phantom King, if you don't have Zerk on him as a main talent, I'd go ahead and throw Zerk on him as my #1 choice for a crest set, just because Zerk gives more talents overall, because it's part of the mythic crest sets. So, you know, Zerk, Revive, Revitalize, and Life Drain all give a little bit more HP and damage. So throw Zerk on him, and if you don't have that, just toss a Bulwark on him, or even a War God. That pretty much wraps it up for now. I wanted to make this video just giving my suggestion on not only what I have on my heroes, but what I thought maybe the best talents were for all the heroes, because I have tons of people asking me pretty much every day questions like this, so figured I might as well make a video that way. Maybe you guys will stop asking me that simple question. Alright guys, so I'm out of here. You guys take it easy. Peace out.